Nathan West never meant for it to happen like this. But when that kiss landed soft, lingering, impossible to deny, everything in Port Charles shifted. And somewhere in the shadows, someone was watching. Because this week on General Hospital love isn't simple, loyalty is fragile, and one wrong move could destroy more than just a friendship. It could ignite a war. And that's only the beginning. The week of March 2nd through the 6th opens with tension hanging thick in the air, the kind that makes your heart beat just a little faster. Let's start with the moment no one saw coming, or maybe everyone did. Nathan West and Lulu Spencer. They weren't planning to be alone, they weren't planning to feel anything, but feelings don't exactly follow police procedure, do they? The look between them says more than words ever could. There's history, there's pain, there's unfinished business, and when Lulu steps closer, when Nathan hesitates for only a second before giving in. They kiss. It's not rushed, it's not reckless. It's real. And that's what makes it dangerous. Because this isn't just about two people finding comfort, this is about Maxie. And just when Lulu pulls back, heart racing, a subtle sound echoes nearby. A door, a footstep, a shadow shifting. Someone saw. Now here where it gets complicated. Across town, Maxie Jones is happy, truly happy, she's grounded, she's steady, she's in a good place with Spinelli. But Lulu doesn't know that for sure, and Nathan, he doesn't want to hurt anyone. When Lulu asks Maxie to talk, you can almost feel the tension through the screen. Is this going to explode? Is this going to tear open old wounds? Instead, Maxie surprises everyone. She listens, she breathes, she thinks. And then she says something no one expected. She gives her blessing. Because Maxie isn't living in the past anymore, she loves Spinelli, she's secure, she doesn't need to hold on to what used to be. But just because Maxie is at peace doesn't mean everyone else will be. Because someone else is about to lose her mind. And her name is Liesl Obrecht. Meanwhile, the emotional fallout from the Drew Kane shooting continues to ripple through Port Charles. Michael Corinthos is exhausted. The accusations, the whispers, the strain. When he confides in Jacinda Bracken, he finally lets his guard down. He talks about Dante, about how the investigation fractured their bond. There was a moment when Dante had to treat Michael like a suspect. That kind of thing doesn't just disappear. But then Dante calls. His voice is serious but softer than before. The PCPD is backing off, they're stepping away from Michael as a suspect. There's relief, but it's fragile. Because Dante admits something unsettling. This case, it's a mess. Too many wrong turns, too many inconsistencies. And if the wrong person is covering their tracks well enough, they might never get convicted. Michael processes that quietly. Because deep down he knows something isn't right. And someone out there is still hiding the truth. Now let's talk about Willow. Because secrets don't stay buried in Port Charles. Willow Kane carries the heaviest one of all. She knows exactly who pulled the trigger. And so does Kai Taylor. When Willow approaches Kai with a proposition, asking him to work for her like he worked for Drew, the air shifts. Why does she want him close? Control, protection, surveillance. Kai agrees, but not for the reason she thinks. He wants to stay close. Because he knows what she did. And if she spirals again, he needs to be there to stop it. The danger isn't over. Not even close. At the Quartermain mansion, chaos erupts when a sudden crisis hits. Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain step up immediately. Whatever this emergency is, medical, legal, or something far worse, they're united. But under pressure, cracks show. Stress reveals truths people try to hide. And Brooklyn begins to question whether they're strong enough to handle what's coming next. Because this family, it doesn't do quiet weeks. Meanwhile, Britt Westbourne is fighting a different kind of battle. Her health, her hope, her desperation. Marco Rios is supposed to retrieve a medication dose for her. It's risky, but it could help. Except Marco's plan goes sideways. Something blocks him, someone interferes, the dose doesn't make it. And when Britt hears the news, she breaks. Not dramatically, not loudly. Quietly. Elizabeth Baldwin walks in on the moment Britt crumbles. And instead of sarcasm or pride, Liz sees vulnerability. The strong, sharp-tongued Britt is gone for a second. What's left is fear. And Liz does something unexpected. She reaches out. Jason Morgan steps in too. When he promises Britt they'll figure it out, he doesn't make empty promises. Jason doesn't speak much. But when he does, it matters. And this time he means it. Because he's about to share critical information with Tracy Quartermaine and Alexis Davis. Information that could shift everything. But before he can move forward, another problem explodes. Marco's mission wasn't just delayed. It was derailed. And whoever stopped him might be closer than anyone realizes. Over at Windermere, Carly Spencer is chasing something darker. She discovers something that sends chills down her spine. The old passageway. The one leading to the wine cellar and catacombs. It's still there. That means secrets are still hidden below. Carly wants answers. But she's not alone for long. Voices echo. Gent Sidwell is speaking quietly with Ross Cullum or maybe Pascal. Carly leans closer, hidden. She hears fragments. A name, a warning, a transaction. And suddenly she realizes. This is bigger than she thought. Much bigger. And just when you think it can't get more intense, Jocelyn Jack starts to worry. She senses Carly is digging where she shouldn't. And if Sidwell is involved, this isn't just gossip. This is danger. Jocelyn turns to Jason. Because if Carly is walking into a trap, Jason is the only one who can pull her back. But what if he's too late? Liesl Obrecht does not take rejection lightly. Especially not when it involves her son. When Nathan sits across from her, calm but firm, and tells her he is moving on, the temperature in the room drops. He doesn't raise his voice, he doesn't argue. He simply says he cares about Lulu. And he's done living in the past. For a moment Liesl just stares at him, silent still. That silence is more terrifying than shouting. Because Liesl Obrecht does not lose control. She calculates. She plots. And when she realizes that Lulu Spencer is now the woman in Nathan's life, her eyes flash. This isn't over. Back at the PCPD, Dante Falconry hangs up after speaking with Michael Corinthos, and for the first time in days he feels a small sense of relief. Michael is no longer a suspect. But relief doesn't equal closure. Because the Drew Kane shooting still has no clean resolution. And Dante knows something isn't lining up. Too many statements, too many half-truths, too many people protecting someone. He thinks back to Willow. Her fears, her guarded tones. Is she hiding something? The thought crosses his mind and doesn't leave. Meanwhile, Michael sits alone after that call. He should feel vindicated. Instead, he feels unsettled. If the case is falling apart, that means the shooter could walk free. And that means danger still lingers. He thinks about his family. About Willow. About the cracks forming in relationships across Port Charles. He doesn't realize that the person who truly holds the key to everything is closer than he thinks. And she is unraveling. Let's talk about Britt. Because her world is quietly collapsing. After Marco's failed attempt to secure the medication, Britt tries to stay composed, but when she's alone, the mask slips. She feels helpless. For someone who always fights, always snaps back with sharp words and sarcasm, this kind of vulnerability is terrifying. Elizabeth Baldwin saw it. And instead of judging her, Liz offered compassion. That moment could change everything. Because sometimes the strongest alliances are formed in weakness. But Britt doesn't know that yet. What she does know is that time may not be on her side. Jason Morgan doesn't believe in coincidence. When he updates Tracy Quartermaine and Alexis Davis with critical information he's uncovered, he makes something very clear. Someone interfered with Marco's mission. And that someone had resources. Access. Power. Which means this isn't random. It's intentional. Is someone trying to keep Britt from getting better? Or is this tied to something far more complicated? Jason's instincts are sharp. And they're telling him the web is bigger than they imagined. Now back to Windermere. Carly Spencer's pulse is racing. She didn't expect to overhear something that chilling. Gent Sidwell's voice is calm, too calm, as he discusses arrangements with Ross Cullum, or was it Pascal? Names float in the darkness. Money. Protection. Timing. Carly's mind spins. Is this connected to Drew? To the shooting? To something older? She shifts slightly and a floorboard creaks. The voices stop. Silence. Is she about to be discovered? Elsewhere, Jocelyn Jacks feels that familiar knot of fear. Her mother has a habit of putting herself in danger when chasing the truth. And if Sidwell is involved, this isn't just business. This could be deadly. Jocelyn goes to Jason. Her voice steady but her eyes worried. Please tell me you're watching her. Jason doesn't hesitate. He is. But watching and stopping are two different things. Across town, Trina Robinson decides it's time to move forward. She's made peace with Portia's relationship with Isaiah Gannon. And instead of resisting, she makes a choice. She reaches out. She opens the door. Maybe this new chapter won't be as uncomfortable as she feared. But in Port Charles, new beginnings often come with unexpected twists. Now let's circle back to that kiss. Because the fallout is coming. The mysterious observer who spotted Nathan and Lulu's intimate moment hasn't revealed themselves yet. But the secret is ticking like a time bomb. Nathan knows he has to tell his mother the truth. And when he does, when he firmly tells Liesl that he is moving forward, she smiles. A small, tight smile. The kind that promises retaliation. Liesl may accept reality on the surface. But beneath it, she's already planning. Because if she can't control Nathan's heart, she can certainly complicate Lulu's life. And then there's Willow. The pressure is closing in. Kai's presence unsettles her. Dante's instincts are sharpening. Michael's doubts are growing. Every conversation feels like a test. Every glance feels like suspicion. She tells herself she's safe. That no one can prove anything. But guilt has a way of leaking out. And if one person connects the dots, everything could collapse. By the end of the week, Port Charles feels like it's holding its breath. Nathan and Lulu stand on the edge of something new, fragile but hopeful. Maxie proves she's stronger than her past. Liesl prepares her next move. Michael and Dante attempt to rebuild trust. Britt faces an uncertain future with unexpected allies by her side. Carly digs into a secret that may explode far beyond Windermere's walls. And somewhere in the shadows, the truth about the shooting waits to be exposed. But here's the real question. When the truth finally comes out, when the real shooter is revealed, who will pay the highest price? Will Nathan and Lulu survive Liesl's interference? Is Carly about to uncover something that puts her directly in Sidwell's crosshairs? And how long can Willow keep her secret before it destroys everything she loves? Tell me what you think. Are you rooting for Nathan and Lulu, or do you believe Liesl is about to tear them apart? Do you trust Willow, or is her downfall inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I read them all. And if you want daily, emotional, can't-miss updates on General Hospital, told with all the drama and heart you love, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because in Port Charles, peace never lasts. And next week, it might get even more explosive.